for that.
Over to you, Ruben, for your final case study.
Okay, thank you, Henry. So today I'm going to present my case study of intensive PM. So actually what you are going to see today is me presenting how this product came from just an idea to actual product that was launched and as users using it. But at the same time, my own product journey in terms of how was I feeling, how was I approaching the different problems that came in my way. And all of this was done through the wait weeks, which was amazing. So basically, the approach is going to be the following, is going to be divided in just 3 parts, okay? So the first part is about the problem validation, and it's kind of me thinking about, okay, how I validated that this was even a problem that was worth solving for. The second part is about, okay, the offer validation. So how I validated that my idea resonates with the target niche. And finally, the actually strategic planning in terms of me thinking about how do I ensure the long-term product success. So if you go to the part 1 and you start thinking about, the problem, what is the problem that we are solving? And more important than that, what is our niche, right? Who is the target user? So the problem statement is the following: product managers struggle to change jobs. We can actually divide this in 2 parts. The first part that you see there on the screen in green is the product managers, which is the niche. And then the second part is the actual problem. They struggle to change jobs. This is very interesting, and I want to spend some time in here. So if you think about this problem, and this is where this structured approach to product is really important and starts. So I started with more than 20 ideas of problem to solve. And we started this approach in terms of, okay, let's understand from these 20 ideas that I have, how acute the problem is, or how addressable the market is, or what is my motivation, or even what is the market potential. And you can clearly see here some ideas at 9 or 11 score, which is pretty low in a scale from 1 to 20, but others not. Others are at 18 or 17 or even 16. So those were the good ideas that I went after to validate in the market. And my thinking process was this: when I was thinking about, okay, is it acute enough? Well, I was thinking about finding a new job can be really stressful, right? Or if I was thinking about addressability, well, LinkedIn is a really easy way and an easy channel that I can use, most likely, to try to validate this. Or if I think about motivation, well, this is something that I have personally felt before. So I'm really motivated to try to solve this problem. And then lastly, about the market potential. If you think specifically about our niche and PMs, they change job very frequently. So it's not common a PM staying in a job for 10 or 15 years. So they change a job a lot. So this is how I structured my approach in terms of the problem ideation. And now, okay, I was thinking about how can I validate that this is in fact a real and acute problem. This is what you're going to see here. The key results that I had, but at the same time, where you see that small image there on the corner, it's the question in the back of my mind and how I got to the answer in terms of my approach. So the key results in terms of validating the problem, I did 7 discovery calls, and I contacted 100 people via LinkedIn, which actually validated this acquisition channel because I had an 11% conversion rate on this that I'm going to show you next. So in the back of my mind during this phase, I was questioning myself, okay, how do I know this is a problem that is worth solving for? And the answer I was having was, okay, it's really easy. I just need to go out there to the real world and really talk with the niche, right? So this is what you're going to see here in terms of the discovery calls that I made. So a couple of trends started to surface. almost like a podium. So you have here the gold medal, which is 6 out of the 7 interviews I made. I had feedback around, I can't change job. It's really hard to change job. Then on the second place, I had this, when I started to touch on, have you ever had a mentor before? How do you feel about having a mentor? I had a lot of feedback, and in this specific case was 5 out of 7 in terms of there aren't structured mentoring out there, which is not a very good thing from the feedback I was having. I remember specific cases because I was talking with different levels of experience from junior to head of product, and actually head of product telling me, well, I'm head of product, but I'm feeling stuff because if I'm trying to change job, it's going to be very hard and I don't want to go to a lower position. So this was very interesting feedback. And at the same time, it was very hard from some of the PMs that I interview to actually find someone that could be by their side. And the third one was a lot of feedback around in 3 out of 7 in terms of being stuck in a feature factory in a way that, okay, only focus on delivering, very hard to influence and to try to change that. And a lack of community support around product management was also something that I found out during my discovery process. So the next phase for me was trying to understand, okay, I have this podium over here, right? Gold medal and bronze. How can I flip the frustrations that I'm hearing into opportunities, right? So can change job can actually be flipped into an opportunity that is, okay, you can accelerate your next dream role, or unstructured mentoring can be flipped into effective mentorship. So this is what I did when actually what fed what was my product vision, which is, okay, we train our niche, which is product managers, to accelerate to, and really the frustration I know is they can't change jobs, but I want to make this more compelling because it's a product vision. I actually use GPT to have some suggestions that I could use to be more compelling. So changing jobs is transformed to accelerate towards the dream role. And if I now start to think about what the product strategy is, well, actually, how am I going to deliver this? It's with intensive mentorship, because one of the feedbacks that I had from the discovery was around, unstructured mentoring. And this is the perfect bridge to the second part of my learning, which is, okay, how do I build an offer that resonates with the target niche? So the offer that I created was we train product managers to accelerate towards the next dream role with intensive mentorship. So the results were I had an 11% conversion rate via the LinkedIn channel. I drafted the blue ocean strategy, which I'm going to show next, with 2 differentiated value elements, and also the product story canvas and the product vision for an alignment. So in back of my mind, I was questioning, how do I know this is an interesting value for offer for my niche? And the answer was, try to simplify as much as possible, test it if it delivers value, and if it doesn't, try to pivot fast. So this was my learning. So based on the MVO, we train product managers to accelerate towards their next dream role with intensive mentorship. I created a very, very simple MVO webpage where I actually put some details in there that come from the Blue Ocean strategy differentiation. So just from understanding the market, I understanding that challenge reviews in terms of preparation and also doing mock interviews is something that is underserved if you think about product training and product programs that we have out there. So this was something that I wanted to be laser focused on. So when I built the MVO webpage, that's exactly what I did there with a simple sign up. And this is the key results that I had. And in the back of my mind, this is really coming from intuition to actually being a science with tangible data. So you can see here on the left picture that I have the LinkedIn outreach. Out of 100 contacts, I had a 11% conversion. From the Google Analytics page, I had 23 visitors, and I actually had these 11 signups that you can see here on the right, which is the signups on my email. So for me, this is really important because it's moving from intuition to science. So this validated what is the product vision. So we train product managers to accelerate towards their next dream role. And now it's about coming to the objective 3. That is, okay, how do I set up the long-term strategic foundations for a successful product? This is really about aligning around the strategic roadmap and doing an initial prototype, the lean canvas, and also the team topology, which I'm going to cover. So this is a strategic roadmap using this opportunity solution tree, where we have at the top the niche, then the desired outcome, which is landing the next dream role, the opportunity, which is accelerating that direction, the solution through a personalized mentorship program, and actually the outcome that I want to create and I'm going to explore next is, okay, book the first call and experience this. So if I look to the strategic roadmap, this is exactly what is reflected in here. So step 1 is understanding how a mentor can help my career growth. The second one is, okay, realize what are the areas of improvement that I need to work on. And actually the core value comes from step 3, which is practicing product case studies and also training mock interviews, which improves the interviewing performance. So this is my first iteration. The second iteration would be, okay, let's try to understand if we can increase the hiring odds via job referrals. So I did an initial prototype experiment. So I went for a smoke screen prototype. The reason why I went for the smoke screen is because I really wanted to test the value risk in terms of, okay, do people really find value in this, or they actually are willing to pay for it? So I did this initial prototype that you can see. I have a home page, some details, and then a call to action, right? And yesterday I had very fresh, I had my first call, okay, with a beta tester. And at the end, I distributed the survey. So this is the result of the survey. So I know it's only one answer, but when she was asked about how would you feel if intensive PM no longer existed, said somewhat disappointed. So I kind of highlighted here. Good things is when asked what kind of people do you think most benefit from it, especially PMs at the beginning of career, but also more experienced ones. And also what is the main benefit, which is gain more clear guidance on interview process. I think I still need to work on some of the things that you see here in yellow, which is how can we improve it for you in terms of very early. So just from one call, it's not clear enough what can we improve. And also the willingness to pay. So the feedback was also in terms of very difficult to answer right now if it's willing to pay or not. But the feedback, and we changed some emails, was just from our first session, you actually gave me some valuable feedback. So this is the lean canvas. I want to focus more on the business side of this in terms of the high-level concept is we make money on mentees only, on the recurring fees. And if we want to have mentors on the platform, well, if you can prove to them they can make money out of mentees, this is a platform that can work for both sides. And again, in terms of team typology, if we think on the long term, we have mentees as a product team, mentors on the other one, also community. and some special teams focus on user experience and marketplace performance. And lastly but not least, my product principles here. I think main one is, for me, product is more a science than intuition. And this is what my main learning from the program. Really following this structured approach, have data, it's very important. The other one from customer interviewing, which is differentiate surface level problems from root cause problems and always audit the product thinking. The value of staying lean to learn fast and pivot fast. And the other one, which is practice beats theory. So I had this like a lot of theory in my back pocket, but actually going out there and in 8 weeks build a product, it's the most valuable thing and really differentiates ourselves. And the last one is value over feature. So actually, if we concentrate on, what delivers value, not just the solution and the feature, this is what really creates the business impact. So this is it. My presentation is, okay, Ruben has 7 years of product management experience, successfully launched products from 0 to profitability, and also optimized underperforming products in 3 companies, hitting the business goals.
Awesome. Excellent. Let's, what I'll do first, Ruben, to go through feedback on the presentation, and then we'll, as I said, slow down, talk about some next steps and general feedback.
Yep.
Good. So I'll go through these points quickly. I thought generally your storytelling was really good, really, really strong. Like, for example, the introduction was really clear. You paused to say, okay, like, what are you going to present? Why is this important? And then you went straight into a very clear breakdown of the problem, which is really important because terms like, just showing a problem statement, most stakeholders have no idea what this is. So half of what you're doing with the case study is educating about product process. So it was great. You broke down, so here's the niche and the problem part of the statement and visualizing it even better. I loved also your evaluation of the problem, and you put it in simple terms. It's easy to try and use clever language or product word. You did exactly how I do it, and I think we should do it, which is, okay, so here's the problem. Let's evaluate with these key 4 points to see, does this make sense to even pursue the problem? Again, important because most teams just jump straight into a problem and don't evaluate it. On the first objective and key results, I think it was very good that you talked about, you got 11% conversion. You said, no, this is actually quite good. We've got some good signal here. And I loved the visualization as well on the next slide, where you broke down the gold, silver, bronze of here, the sort of problems we're seeing. Many people will show like, here's the discovery calls I did. And it's this nice visualization, but they've got no idea what you're talking about there. And in your case, you talked through, okay, this is where, the themes that we saw. So they get, I understand what this visual is, essentially. I liked as well, again, generally, you're very good at what I call bridging. So, connecting the slides together. For example, you said, so then we flipped the frustrations into opportunities, and that fed into our product vision. Awesome, because again, if you could do an amazing presentation, but if it's not clear to them how discovery goes into product vision and then into product strategy, you've lost them immediately. And then skipping forward to product market fit, I thought this was good. You probably found even just doing one test, you tend to get a good idea of, whether you're going in the right direction or not. And also though, on the other side, excellent that you didn't just jump to conclusions. You said, okay, there's some things here, let's do a few more though, and then I can, take see where I want to go in terms of direction. So I think really good start. And, I said this on the calls, right? Just get at least one, you start to get that experience, and now, hey, do a few more over the next few weeks. It's interesting, right? To be testing this kind of thing out. So that's the kind of thing I want you to now just pursue on your own time. I think only criticism would be, for example, you dropped in team topology, just saying, here's the team topology. And like firstly, people don't know what that term means. Secondly, why was this relevant to the presentation? So I put it in the template, but these are kind of things I want you to always think, does it make sense for this specific presentation? So you sort of dropped it in, I would just take it out. Or you go, so here's where we're at now. And let's look at where we're going to go in the future. So lean canvas, strategic roadmap, team, all these pieces which show this is the direction we're taking. Mm-hmm. And then you're basically showing to stakeholders, we know where we're going, give us some more money or resources now to go and pursue it. So again, it's slightly artificial context, right? With, you know, me and you in this case, but in, you know, if you're pitching to stakeholders, you want to sort of build that business case well. And then I love the principles. Just be a bit careful with, you know, product equals science. Yes and no. So yes, in terms of there are principles and common steps we could always fall back on, like this product playbook, the adaptable product playbook. On the other side, it is messy though. You know, for example, prototyping. There are different types of prototype, and you know, every context is going to be different. So we need to, you know, maybe merge prototype, maybe break the rules and do different types, for example. So yes and no, but I like the intention with it. And then just sort of zooming out, Ruben, I think in terms of the 8 weeks and sort of where things to focus on, I think generally very good. You know, you always did the work, showed up, good questions. You were clearly understanding the concepts, and today gave me more confidence with that. I think 2 areas to improve upon, which are very common, is just continuing to skill up on product strategy, one, and I think your business hat. So for example, let's take product strategy. I always felt that it was a good idea, but I didn't see strong differentiation or a way to, you know, carve out your space in the market. I liked, for example, you know, just today you've got this thing around practicing product case studies. So for example, how could you do mentoring in a different way? Or how could you even reinvent the category of mentorship? Really hard, takes lots of iterations, but you know, that's where we want to go. Really differentiated, something that really stands out, because it's just going to drive more success. But again, this is step 1 of product strategy. So now you've got a really good foundation and it's just building upon it. So again, not a criticism, it's just this, you know, where you're at the moment. And then I think with the business hat, I love that you did address it today. You know, you did the basic maths there and you communicated it. Why stakeholders want to see that, and they want to see that you understand that this is a business, not just a fun product. So I thought that was great. And I think over time, just train yourself so that, for example, when you present an idea, you don't have that situation where, imagine I'm your boss and I'm like, okay, Ruben, like, how are we going to make money? And you go, oh, I didn't really think about the maths on mentorship versus how much they have to pay, etc. You don't want to get caught out in that kind of situation. So just prepare for it exactly as you did today, and it'll make you build trust firstly. Secondly, just come up with better ideas as well, right? Improve the quality of ideas. So I think that would be it, really. You know, generally very good. I think you've got a really strong foundation now. As with everybody in product now, it's product strategy, business hat, and obviously there's overlap with those two. Just before we wrap up, any sort of next steps you feel you want to take, or things that you want to sort of really focus on, you know, moving forward?
I think I want to iterate more on my prototype, because there are definitely still things that I need to improve. So I want to have more feedback. So I have a solid foundation in terms of what is the next step of the interaction, but also stay very lean. So I really take the value from the approach of, okay, learn fast and change fast if needed to. So that's definitely something I want to work on next. Because for me, one of the things that I was worried about, which was just a belief, was not real, was it's going to be very hard to acquire people in order to use it. But actually it wasn't. That wasn't a hard.
This is a big acute problem. I mean, I know it because it's Prod MBA audience as well. It's a big problem. So yeah, you're never going to struggle with that, which is great because it means you can move really quickly.
Yeah,
you can iterate quickly, which is awesome. Yeah, I think it makes complete sense. And you know, you're going to go in a certain direction. Maybe at some point you go, hey, maybe I try and digitize this, and you build some cool no-code app, or find a co-founder, right, and build something digital. So, or you just go, actually, no, we're doing really well, you know, as Prod MBA, right, and a sort of a non-digital business. It's fun, you enjoy it. So something there. And I think, you know, worst case scenario, you don't have to go and do this full time, but it's just going to really develop your skills. And it's something fun to work on, you know, something energizing.
Yes. And
awesome.
For me is having a story to tell of something that I love doing, which
exactly
is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes you so much more interesting for, just generally for other people, but particularly, you know, interviewing or networking as well. Really, really powerful. Awesome. Well, yeah, I think, as I said, you really good foundation. You put the work in, always came open-minded, ready to work. And now it's just, you've got all the resources now. It's now just practice, practice, practice. Yeah. Awesome. We'll have to wrap up there. So I've got a workshop straight after.
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
see you joining this session or 5 p.m.?
I'm joining this one.
Okay, great. I'll see you in 1 minute then.
Yeah, bye.